Sagittarius Moons, and welcome to your prediction for the energies surrounding the full moon in Pisces around the 2nd of September. And I really love a Pisces moon, and there really is so much beautiful energy surrounding September. And so I really hope that you're going to do a little bit of extra research into the astrological alignments if that interests you. There's a lot of trines happening. Look, I'm not an astrologer, but I do follow it, and there's some really beautiful energy to be working with right now. And of course Pisces is all about that beautiful dreamy energy. But there's also a lot of access to healing energies at the moment. And yeah, let's call it that. Alright. And so the important thing at the moment is to make sure that you are dreaming, that you are planting those seeds, and that the dreams that you're spending time dreaming are really aligning with your belief systems as well. So there's not much point in dreaming about something that you don't believe is possible. And of course, as you work on those belief systems and expand what you can believe in, then you can expand on your dreams. What's also really important at this point is to use that Virgo Sun energy, which we're going to be entering into, to make your plans and start bringing the action steps in. So in terms of the energies, general energies, we have renewal, the Empress card, and the Four of Air. And in terms of renewal, it's a good time to reevaluate. And so this really just follows on from what I was just saying in terms of looking at the dreams, looking at the plans, looking at the seeds that you're planting, and really and really check that they are aligning with what it is you want to be creating and what you want to see in the new world, and making sure that you're not feeding into the fear narratives, which of course doesn't mean ignoring things, also known as being ignorant, and it doesn't mean we completely shut ourselves off from any form of mainstream media, but where are you focusing most of your attention? Because while mainstream media is showing some truth, it's not the whole truth, and there are also many other pockets of truths out there and many other communities that you can tap into. So where is your focus? Reevaluate what you're focusing on. And in terms of the Empress energy, this is a really beautiful energy because it's an energy of harvest and abundance and fruition and things really manifesting and happening and coming through. And so I'd like for you to take the moment to acknowledge where it is that you have already achieved and had your small successes or even your big successes, and acknowledge how you are now in a space and a position, at least in some aspect and in some way, where one day, once upon a time in the past, you were dreaming about achieving and accomplishing where you are now. And this is how things work. We plant the seeds, we have the dreams, and then we make the plans and we take the steps, and sometimes we reevaluate those plans and we shift the direction slightly, and sometimes we alter the dreams slightly as we grow and expand in our consciousness, and that's okay as well. We always need to come back and revisit, and this full moon time is really going to be a good time for you to do that. And then you also have this Four of Air, and the Four of Air is calling for a need for rest. Maybe you need to even take a vacation if it's possible for you to travel at this time. Maybe go and do some kind of a retreat, but even if it's just a 5-minute walk in the nature, just really allow yourself some rest time. And sleep is so important. Yes, you need to put some physical work in, but don't do so at the detriment of your own health and your own well-being. And in terms of the energy leading up to the full moon, we have the Star and the Seven of Swords. And the Star card really is this card of hope, and I really feel like it's a good card for this Pisces full moon energy. It's a card of looking towards the future, dreaming about a better future, having the inner strength and drive and knowledge that you are able to bring this into fruition. And it is also about that divine feminine energy. It's about accessing those portals of intuition. It's about understanding that we can tap into our emotions and use these as guides. It's about accessing the spiritual realms. It's about being the bridge between those realms and understanding that those realms really exist here upon each other. They're not really separate, even though certain realms are unseen and not so physical, it's not so dense. They're still layered upon top, and the material is also spiritual, and we can also access those spiritual realms through the material objects. And then the Seven of Swords is talking about a situation where you're feeling a little bit like, I kind of lost out here. And this might be in terms of business. And I also get the sense that taking a little bit of a break, taking a little bit of time off will help you to work through this and to realize you haven't lost everything. In fact, you've actually gained some knowledge, because perhaps this is a person who you no longer want in your life, you no longer want to do business with, or if it's something that's not related necessarily to a person, it brings into attention that this is a situation that needs to alter and change, and perhaps it's just your own viewpoint of this situation that needs to change, but you haven't lost everything. Pick up the pieces you've got left and please move on, forgive and let go. And then in terms of what's happening over the the full moon for you, we have the Seven of Wands and the Lovers card. So there certainly is this possibility of a new romantic relationship. Of course, if you're already in a romantic relationship, and this Lovers card is coming up quite a few times, so it's definitely a good energy for love at the moment. What I want to remind you is, let me say this first. If you're already in a relationship, perhaps it's time to turn over a new leaf within this relationship and bring another spiritual aspect, another realm, another dimension into this relationship, making it into a triangle, bringing that spiritual aspect through. And the Seven of Wands is talking about this feeling of there's too much going on at once, there's too many things happening, and kind of feeling a little bit attacked, kind of feeling like everyone's going at me at once. What I want to remind you is you actually still have the upper hand in this situation. And the way to work through this is to breathe, tap into who you truly are. Don't react and fly off the handle, which of course can happen with those Sagittarius moon energies, but rather breathe through it. Ask yourself how you visualize the best outcome for this situation, and recognize that you have a choice to respond, and it's better to respond once you've taken that time to think it through. Don't feed into the negative energies. And of course, not all of it is going to be negative. Maybe it's just this sense of, whoa, it's too much, and I don't quite know how to deal with it. Breathe. It's one step at a time. And of course, if there's this new relationship possibility happening at the same time as well, this is another aspect. But I feel like this aspect is going to help you work through. It's going to be a bit of a release. And maybe in this new person can be that vacation and that rest time, and maybe you take some time off of work to just be with this person and to enjoy this new company. Of course, I really hope that you also bring to the forefront and make really important the self-love, because any relationship that we have with someone else is going to be a lot more powerful if you are doing your own self-work and if you are nourishing yourself. We should not place these needs upon others and outer circumstances. We should be feeding ourselves that nourishment, that love, that positive self-talk, and even the nourishing food. This is a way of showing self-love. And then in terms of what's happening for you after the full moon, we have the Eight of Pentacles and the Eight of Cups. We have this double 8 energy. 8 is the number of abundance. It's also the infinity if you turn it sideways. And 8 is really one of my favorite numbers personally. Personally, it's a number I see everywhere. Double 8, triple 8. And it always just reminds me that even when it doesn't feel like it, I really am abundant. And that when I relax, let my guard down slightly, but not entirely, always keep that protection, always keep aware, that's when things flow and the work comes. And so we really have, with this Eight of Pentacles, this promise of more work coming in. And with the Eight of Cups, we have more of this energy of releasing and leaving. So while the work and the abundance is coming in, we're letting go of the old and the things that no longer serve us. We're space clearing, and this can be physical space so that we don't have a cluttered space, because our space is also a metaphor for our minds and how we're feeling. But it's also about releasing emotions. And the way to release emotions is not by suppressing them. The way to release the emotions is by crying. Sometimes we need to shout. Sometimes, for me, some of the best ways to release emotions is to go into the nature and just have like a really good, rigorous walk and to sweat it out, and breathe that fresh air. This is a very amazing way just to like let go and release, let go and release. And there really is this energy of being able to really fully let go of some old traumas, and perhaps it's childhood related, but maybe it's to do with old relationships, and maybe this new relationship that's possibly blossoming for you. Maybe it's bringing up a couple triggers or reminding you of old relationships and things that you need to let go of. And so I really hope you just, as these things arise, look at them for what they are, thank them, and let them go. Forgive the past. So I really love all of this beautiful and hopeful energy that's coming through for you guys. I really hope you're going to take this healing work seriously, take some time off to really do the healing work. I know some of us don't have the luxury of taking actual time off, but even if you're just committing an hour to yourself per day to meditate or to breathe or even to nap, guys, napping is so healing. And napping can sometimes be the most productive thing you can do. Yes, guys, the hope and the love and the dreams, recheck them, realign yourself, make use of this beautiful energy. And if you enjoyed that and you feel like I could be a part of that journey, please hit subscribe. And if you'd like to join me on my live sessions, which happen on Instagram, 8:30 p.m. South African time, that's GMT +2, I would love to see you every Tuesday.